Hello everyone and welcome back to the opening weekend of the 2024-25 Optegra Championship, where you once again join myself, Ryan Sipple, and my co-commentator Dean Williams for the action here live from the Lee Westwood Sports Centre. Here we have Nottingham Forest PFC versus Hull and East Yorkshire PFC, both contesting their second fixture of the new season. Dean, how are you?
Very good, Ryan. We're back again.
We certainly are.
Enjoying the football we're watching so far.
So, as mentioned, this the second game of both of their campaigns. Both, unfortunately, succumbed to a 5-0 defeat. Nottingham Forest to the hand of Muscle Warriors. Hull and East Yorkshire to GBG Knight. So, a huge fixture this early on, where they'll want to shift the momentum in way of a positive one. Paul Yates, our central referee, read these proceedings with a thumbs up from both goalkeepers, and Aston Wall kicks off things here just to go through the starting squads of Nottingham Forest and Hull and East Yorkshire, starting with the designated home side. Nottingham Forest have Jack Bosanquet in goal, the number 13. In the centre, currently it looks like it will be Ben Rogers, complemented by wingers of Finley Cooper and Gary Meakin. For their challengers, Hull and East Yorkshire, they have Joel Rothery as the most defensive of the four. In the centre currently is Aston Walls, recently transferred from Nottingham Forest, so he's first weekend of action with his new club. He faces a team he spent many years with. Hull and East Yorkshire have Kai Gill on one wing, taking responsibility of this corner kick. And on the other, they have Harrison Smith. Potential break for Finley Cooper and Nottingham Forest. Joel Rothery happy to let that ball roll out of play.
Big game for both clubs, this one, Ryan. Getting some confidence back after the reversals in the first two games for each of the sides.
Yeah, worth noting for Hull and East Yorkshire, relegated from the Premiership last season, have lost one of their key players who's actually watching on the sidelines towards the other end of the Lee Westwood Sports Centre, Cole Simpson, who will now ply his trade with Newcastle United Foundation in the Premiership. A huge move for one of the country's brightest young players. But that means that Hull and East Yorkshire have had to look to the transfer market, and recent recruits have brought in several players. Joe and Steve Kerrison both joined from Villa Rockets Lions. As mentioned, Aston Walls transferred from Nottingham Forest, and they've also promoted from within Callum Jefferson and Harrison Smith, the latter starting here against Nottingham Forest. So almost a rebuilding process for Hull and East Yorkshire. Nottingham Forest finishing bottom of the 23-24 Championship campaign, had to secure their championship status with a very narrow win over GBG Saracens back in July. They'll be looking for a stronger season than last, as Aston Walls guides it goal bound. He's going to try and force the ball past Ben Rogers, who's now the most defensive. Just puts up a defensive structure with Jack Bosanquet. Now Kai Gill has to back off. Finley Cooper adjust. As again, the time it takes for a player out wide to go from reversing to driving forward, they lose that momentum. Had Finley Cooper stayed in reverse, then he could have guided the ball further down the court and opened up the options for his supporting attackers. Aston Walls. Nice distribution from Gary Meakin. I think Finley Cooper was caught slightly off guard. But an opening 3 or so minutes. Finley Cooper just out of play. The last time these two met was in the 22-23 National League Championship campaign. 8-0 that one finished to Hull and East Yorkshire. He would go on to secure an unexpected promotion to the Premiership. 7-0 and 8-0 victories for Hull and East Yorkshire, the last two results that they comprised the same division, so Forest surely will be wanting to right that wrong as Aston Walls spearheads an attack for Hull and East Yorkshire. Deemed too aggressive in his intent of an opening goal. Jack Bosanquet comes away with a direct free kick.
Very distinguished looking hair colours on the Hull and East Yorkshire side.
I've already mentioned that when speaking to them. Aston Walls with incredibly bright neon orange hair. Very appropriate. Joel Rothery in goal with a beautiful blue azure mullet.
This is very descriptive, right? And compliments on the new kit, actually, to Hull and East Yorkshire as well. I think it stands out really nicely.
The new kit, the new logo, for which
yes,
they've introduced in the off-season. It's a real credit to work that Hull and East Yorkshire do. And I want to give particular mention to Kai Gill, who plays such a pivotal role in the marketing and the promotion and the initiatives that they adopt. But it's a very well run club. Paul Yates just signalling Hull and East Yorkshire corner, which Kai Gill will take. So they just switch over positions. Harrison Smith now on this left hand post. Aston Walls in the centre. 7 minutes in, can they open the scoring? Kai Gill to take. Does get an effort on target. Live on Court A. Muscle Warriors take on AFC Bournemouth Warriors. It's also live across the WFA's YouTube channel with commentary provided by Kai Shah and Troy Willicombe for anyone interested in that one. For Hull and East Yorkshire, this is the second of a 5-game weekend. Next up for them, scheduled for a 3:20 kick-off today. They face Manchester United, their fellow relegated oppositions from last year's Premiership. Tomorrow they play Man City and West Bromwich Albion Dudley, so really challenging opening weekend to the 24-25 Optegra Championship. Nottingham Forest likewise have a 5-game weekend. Next up, West Bromwich Albion Dudley, who will look to build on a 5-0 victory over Manchester City earlier this morning. So a very tough game for them. They'll be desperate to get something from this one. Tomorrow, easier games on paper against AFC Bournemouth Warriors and Manchester City. Out of play for a goal kick of their 22 games played last season. Nottingham Forest won 1, drew 1 and lost 20, scoring just 8, conceding 96, or minus 88 goal difference. They'll be looking to improve on that across the 5 games of this season. For the first time in a long time, they've kept the core of their squad together in the off-season, so gives them the opportunity to build with the same players and implement certain tactical approaches and philosophies that sometimes take years to understand for certain players. It'll also be interesting to hear what Hull and East Yorkshire's intents are for this season and the expectations, having been relegated from the Premiership. Will they have aspirations of an immediate return to the top flight, or will they just look to rebuild with a new squad? And a ricochet off Harrison Smith's chair, looking to score his first game at National League level. Well covered by the Nottingham Forest defence, but the pressure is building, and Hull and East Yorkshire certainly the better of the two teams in the opening 10 minutes.
Third set piece already, I think, right from the corner. Looking dangerous, aren't they?
Yeah, it's going to be a carbon copy of the last. Kyle to take Aston Walls in the centre. Couldn't quite get the angle on his chair to guide the effort goal bound, out for a goal kick. They're going to have to really capitalise on these set pieces. They can play such a pivotal role in certain teams' success. When talking about set piece utilisation, we often reference the United States national team, and they treat them as such a significant part of the game. I wonder if that's influenced by kind of American football, for which there's a lot of start-stop set-piece play. That's certainly influenced their approach. Visible signs of frustration from Gary Meakin as Hull and East Yorkshire draw back with a Nottingham Forest free kick. Meakin now in the centre. Finley Cooper to the right hand side of Joel Rothery. Ben Rogers. Flicked over to Meakin. Rogers just mishits that. Into the centre. Kai Gill. Attempt on goal. Cleared by Jack Bosanquet. Well left by Harrison Smith. Another very advanced set piece. Surely will be taken by Kai Gill once again on this bottom left-hand corner. Might be just out of shot of the cameras. But Kai Gill readies himself to take Aston Walls in a very congested final third. Will do very well to produce an effort on goal or guide the ball over to Smith on the right. But we'll see what happens. Into the side of Bosanquet's chair. Out for a slightly deeper kick in.
It's the bit when you mentioned about the States doing the set pieces and doing them incredibly well, right? There's movement, isn't there? There's movement towards that ball, and it's, I think for England, the victims of it in the 2023 FIFA World Cup on the group stage, and then got to grips with it in the semi-final and did very well, didn't they? If my memory serves me well.
Spot on. The USA were so brilliant with it, but all of their players are so mobile and dynamic. They're not static, they don't sit still. As Aston Walls guides an effort goal bound, cleared off the line. And it takes teams or countries a lot of time to adjust to that, because it's so alien to us here in England. We probably have more of a physical game, expansive passing football, but That's the beauty of international tournaments and competitions, that you come up across so many varied styles and philosophies that it makes for fantastic viewing. It's Kai Gill, right intent, just nicked off the front corner of Ben Rogers' chair. Finley Cooper and Ben Rogers too close to one another. Advantage played by Paul Yates. Out to Kai Gill. Aston Walls, good option. Effort goal bound. Once again cleared by Jack Bosanquet, not once but twice. Slight respite. Once again, nice option, but chance for Gary Meakin to break. Finley Cooper in support. He's going to guide it into the side of Joel Rothery. Not too much trouble for the Hull and East Yorkshire goalkeeper. Out for a Nottingham Forest ball. 5.5 minutes of this first half still to be played, as we get our first substitute of the game. Harrison Smith with a bright cameo in the first 15 minutes. Emma Hodson, the player, coming on in his place. Down to Meakin. Ben Rogers does well to just back off. Already liking what I'm seeing from Aston Walls. He's been given the central role in this Hull and East Yorkshire team following his recent transfer from Nottingham Forest, and he isn't shying away from the responsibility that that position of the court demands. It's Kai Gill fired into a stationary Gary Meakin, starting to open up this game. Hull and East Yorkshire probably the more attacking of the two teams, but Nottingham Forest have had opportunities to break. He's just being clinical when they get them chances. Aston Walls trying to find the gap, didn't quite have the power. The accuracy was certainly there. Emma Hodson with her first involvement since her introduction just a few moments ago. Nottingham Forest yet to look to their substitute bench, just to myself and Dean's right. As Aston Walls tries to squeeze the ball in between Jack Bosanquet and Ben Rogers. I'll get to them substitutes in a minute. He forces the ball over the line. No goal from Paul Yates. Trying to understand his approach. He signalled for the 2-on-1. Either way, no goal given.
You just mentioned the Nottingham Forest substitutes right to my right-hand side. They are incredibly, in the right way I mean, very vocal, supporting their team, and we're cheering that decision.
So when we talk about them substitutes, we reference Toby Maurice, number 15, and Riley Priestley, number 18. Options on the bench for Hull and East Yorkshire as well. Luke Brennan, Steve Kerrison, Joe Kerrison, the ones yet unused. I believe
penalty,
a penalty is being given. Trying to understand that decision. But Kai Gill, with 2 minutes left in this first half, has a fantastic opportunity to open his and his team's account in a 24-25 campaign, and slots the ball to the left-hand side of Jack Bosanquet. Hull and East Yorkshire 1, Nottingham Forest 0. Right down the other end of the court from Aston Walls. We will correct the goal scorer as soon as possible, whilst it presents as 0-0 with just over a minute left to be played in this first half. Hull and East Yorkshire are a goal to the good, probably good value for it. They've been the more attacking of the two teams. Jack Bosanquet has had a lot of pressure to soak up across the first 20.
Yeah, I think they've shaded it, haven't they? A bit more purpose, certainly more chances, set pieces.
So final 30 seconds, Hull and East Yorkshire maintaining that attacking pressure. But credit to Hull and East Yorkshire, sorry, Nottingham Forest. Aston Walls into the side of Jack Bosanquet's chair. And that is half time. Nottingham Forest 0. Hull and East Yorkshire 1. Kai Gill, the scorer. Should have confirmation of that on your screens now, but thank you to all that are joining, myself and Dean, for this one. We'll be back very shortly for the second half. Hello everyone and welcome back to this second half in this fixture between Nottingham Forest and Hull and East Yorkshire, currently separated by a single Kai Gill goal. A penalty scored in the latter stages of the first half. We're soon to be underway. It looks like Nottingham Forest will be unchanged from the team that finished the first half. A slight adjustment in the ranks of Hull and East Yorkshire. Let's get proceedings underway and we'll go through them changes as Ben Rogers guides it right down the other end of the court. So for Nottingham Forest, they have Jack Bosanquet in goal. In the centre, Ben Rogers, Gary Meakin on the left-hand wing, the right as you're viewing it, and Finley Cooper on the other side. Hull and East Yorkshire have Joel Rothery currently with possession of the ball. Aston Walls maintains his position in the centre. Emma Hodson on the right. Recently substituted Luke Brennan on in place of goalscorer Kai Gill.
You mentioned it in the first half, but Aston's been lively.
He has been. Always intrigued to see how players fare, not only when playing their first competitive weekend for a new team, but against the team in which he used to play for as well.
Did he have bright red hair?
He's always sported very appropriate hair, depending on the team in which he's played for. So I think we've had pink, I think we've had shades of blue. So he's always maintains an excellent head of hair.
So if I followed suit, right, I'd have to play for a team that plays in grey on that basis, unless I dyed my hair.
I think I'll have to join suit after the stress of game week 1. But no, we are back for the opening weekend of the 24-25 Optegra Championship. Our fantastic new sponsors, Optegra Eye Healthcare, supporting the 24-25 National League, both Premiership and Championship divisions. Once again, a huge thank you to them for what they do. What their funding allows is this competition at the very top level. As Finley Cooper patiently trying to figure out the puzzle that is Joel Rothery and Aston Walls. Such a brilliant performance from Aston Walls, who just forces his way up the court. Just seems more confident, more physical. He's really been the top performer of the first 22 minutes. As he distributes the ball over to Emma Hodson, who's caught slightly unaware. Gary Meakin does well to intercept. Out of play for a Hull and East Yorkshire ball. Live on Court A currently with commentary. The second half of the fixture between Muscle Warriors and AFC Bournemouth Warriors will be kicking off again shortly. I believe Muscle Warriors are 3 goals to the good in that one against their southeast rivals. Paul Yates blows his whistle to signal a 2-on-1 in favour of Nottingham Forest. Ben Rogers to take. Down to Finley Cooper, nice control. Correct decision from Paul Yates there. Luke Brennan and Aston Walls much too close to one another. 2-on-1, as described in the earlier game. It's a fundamental rule of power chair football, the 2-on-1 restriction, which prevents more than one player from the same team challenging an opponent within 3 metres. It keeps play open and fair. And it's one of the biggest differences from regional league football to National League is the speed. So having that anticipation and that awareness as to the ball's trajectory and potential placement will of course dictate where you position yourself on the court. And at a level such as the Championship, the ball can fizz from one side of the court to the other in a matter of seconds, so players need to always be alert and on guard, be very tuned into their teammates' position on the court as well. As Aston Walls bypasses Ben Rogers, no options in support as Emma Hodson just behind the number 11 Gary Meakin on the right. He manages to slow up play brilliantly to give his teammates that opportunity to support, as Ben Rogers now is going to capitalise via this counter-attack. It's the danger for Hull and East Yorkshire when they commit players forward in numbers. Nottingham Forest can potentially break on the counter. On that occasion, Hull and East Yorkshire do well to get back and support Joel Rothery as the designated goalkeeper. Into the box. Just a slight confusion between referee and assistant referee. Jamie King on the right hand side. I believe the ball goes in favour of Nottingham Forest. Ben Rogers to take. Gary Meakin in the centre. Finlay Cooper at the back post. Into the former. Guides it goal bound. Aston Walls has to be alert. Just ushers it out of play for a corner ball this time. Ben Rogers, very congested penalty box. Gary Meakin will do well to take possession of this. Just guides it back to Rogers. Heavy contact between Aston Walls and Rogers. Out for a Forest ball. Just trapped in this top right hand corner, or bottom right hand corner as you're viewing it. Can Forest find that equaliser? Gary Meakin now with responsibility. The whole ball still in play. Neither Aston Walls or Gary Meakin wanted to engage that ball initially. An sensible decision for Gary Meakin, almost presented him with a goal scoring opportunity, but once again Aston Walls very switched on. Ben Rogers unlucky there, didn't quite have the timing and or placement to connect that Gary Meakin pass, but the intent was most definitely there. Just under 28 minutes played. Nottingham Forest 0, Hull and East Yorkshire 1 in the opening weekend of the 2024-25 Optegra Championship here at the Lee Westwood Sports Centre. Aston Walls. Just a slight miscommunication between Walls and Emma Hodson. Both were backing off that ball, neither wanting to engage. Will be fouled to a 2-on-1 infringement. And that will be Emma Hodson's last involvement.
Forest just starting to show a bit more confidence, aren't they? They're certainly trying. I mean, obviously a goal down means that they've got to force the issue a little bit, but you can see there's a little bit more confident approach from them.
So Joe Kerrison enters the field of play. Last season's 23-24 goal of the season recipient. Fantastic team move, I believe against Sale United. Then he was plying his trade with Villa Rockets Lions. A switch up for both himself and his brother Steve. has possession on this right-hand wing, met by Gary Meakin, just swipes it out of play. They've struggled to create a great deal in way of attack recently, Hull and East Yorkshire. It's been more in their defensive half. They are a goal to the good still via that Kite Gill penalty in the late stages of the first half. Gary Meakin now is going to try and break Aston Walls. Drives across to prevent the advancement. Power chair football, it's like akin to chess. You make your move based off what the opposition does. Constantly evolving. Concentration, one of the most important attributes of this game.
Concentration and anticipation, really important, aren't they? At a top level like this.
Yeah, power chair football, it doesn't only challenge the players to develop their kind of ball control, their manoeuvring skills, but their tactical intelligence and spatial awareness. It's a real blend of physical and mental challenge, this sport. And that's why we shout from the rooftops as to its inclusivity, because we take that physical aspect out for the most part. It's more of a mental game than it is physical. Of course, any age, any gender, any disability can compete together on a level playing field, which is why we love the sport so much. First substitute of the game for Nottingham Forest. A very vocal Riley Priestley comes on in place of Gary Meakin, who had a strong display. 30 minutes of football in the bank for the Forest number 11.
Couldn't wait to get on the pitch then, could he?
First involvement, trying to return the favour to Ben Rogers. It's safe to say that Aston Walls has been the busiest of the 8 players. Just has been key for Hull and East Yorkshire, both in all attacking and defensive phases of play. As Joe Kerrison just cushions the ball back into him. An opportunity here for Riley Priestley. Had he stayed in reverse there, it would have been a real opportunity for him to engage that ball with the clockwise 180 strike. Head in the hands of Gary Meakin on the substitute bench. Arguably Forest's best opportunity to score all game, as Hull and East Yorkshire look to switch it up following this attacking phase from their challengers. Kai Gill re-enters the action in place of Luke Brennan. Ben Rogers to take. I have to say, I'm not quite sure what was said at the half-time break for Nottingham Forest, but they've been the better of the two in this second half. Have to be careful as to who's engaging that ball. 2-on-1 surely in favour of Hull and East Yorkshire. Brilliant advantage played by Paul Yates, which could yield a goal via Aston Walls if he's able to force his way round Jack Bosanquet. Danger still present. He's going to try and weave round the left-hand side. The right as you're viewing it. 33.5 minutes in. Aston Walls scores a goal against his old club. No celebration. Nice show of respect.
My goodness, has his performance deserved that goal?
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Just came from that miscommunication and that momentary lapse in concentration from the Forest outfield players. Really unfortunate, because they've been growing into this game. As mentioned, probably the better of the two teams in this second half, but Hull and East Yorkshire remained resolute and clinical in that break. The persistence from Aston Walls, who's been absolutely sensational against his former club. Riley Priestley. Aston Walls looking to spearhead another attack, and just to think that that second goal came just after that real credible opportunity for Riley Priestley. A game of such fine margins. As Paul Yates just has a conversation with Riley Priestley. Notoriously very vocal with Riley Priestley. Sometimes has to be reined in a little bit. I think it's more just his passion and his support of his teammates. Jamie King has his flag signalled for a substitute. It will be one Kerrison coming on for the other. Steve Kerrison entering the action for the first time this game. Joe Kerrison coming off following a short cameo. Ben Rogers, no one there to receive his diagonal splitting pass, out for a goal kick, or a kick in. I apologise. Aston Walls once again trying to guide it down the court. Kai Gill unable to receive. Ben Rogers brilliantly puts himself between the two attacking players of Hull. Steve Kerrison brilliantly vacates the position on the left to allow Aston Walls the room to occupy without a 2-on-1 being awarded. Next up on Court B, Leeds Dynamos take on Teesside Steel. A fascinating fixture. On Court A, West Bromwich Albion Dudley are looking to continue their pursuit of potential promotion. They face Sale United. Riley Priestley now. Finley Cooper unaware as to the ball's placement. Signs of frustration on his face. Aston Walls to take. Into Kai Gill, nearly intercepted by Ben Rogers. Had he been a little bit more assertive and aggressive, could have probably guided an effort goal bound. Joel Rothery's placement would have resulted in a corner kick, or it just ricocheting back into play. 2 minutes remaining. Rogers, intercepted by Kai Gill. Brilliant work by Aston Walls. Once again, almost sounded like a broken record as to how many times we've referenced that man's performance, but he's been a real thorn in the side of his former team. He's
pretty much controlled the game, hasn't he? He's dictated the pace and
pretty much single-handedly, so key to everything in defensive and attacking phases of play. And with just over 30 seconds remaining, on track to secure his side 3 crucial points in game week 1 of the 24-25 Optegra Championship. Ball still live. Riley Priestley just flicks it off of Joel Rothery's chair, so with a few seconds remaining, it'll be a late corner kick for Nottingham Forest. Anything from this, if they were to score, would surely be just a consolation, but we've already spoken about goal difference and the significance of that across the season as a whole, and every little will help. Regulation 20 has been played. Dare I push you for a player of the match, Dean?
I think we'd agree that's Aston on this one.
Yeah,
that's not one of my hardest decisions, that one.
No, I think anyone that's watching, whether you're in the Hull and East Yorkshire camp or Nottingham Forest, you can appreciate that man's performance. Obviously, he'll have a soft spot for Nottingham Forest, having nurtured and developed him for so many years. But he's made that brave leap to explore opportunities with a new club, and it's already bearing fruit. 3 points in the bag, man of the match performance, and the goal to his name, his first of the season, and that signals the end of the game. Nottingham Forest 0, Hull and East Yorkshire 2. An opening goal from Kai Gill, a penalty late in the first half. Nottingham Forest in the second grew in confidence, were probably the better of the two teams for 70, 80, maybe even 90%. But just that quick breakaway goal that capitalised on a momentary lapse of concentration from the Nottingham Forest defence allowed former player Aston Walls to guide the ball past their goalkeeper Jack Bosanquet. So it ends 2-0, first 3 points of the season for Hull and East Yorkshire. Next up for them, they play Manchester United at 20 minutes past 3. Nottingham Forest later today, a really tough game against West Bromwich Albion Dudley, so they have a lot to do if they are to secure any point from game day 1 of game week 1 of the 2024-25 Optegra Championship. Thank you to all that are joining myself and Dean, both for this game and others. We'll be back very shortly for follow-up games in game week 1.